sweats on, put your sweats on for me, yeah. Cause I got the plug, I'll make it call for green. Oh, I'm talking late night for ya. Let me lay a great time on ya. Don't hesitate, no, don't ya, no. Just say you will come through and chill, chill, oh, chill. Just say you will come through and chill. Oh, said I wanna love all night, singing. Yeah. Said I wanna love all night. Yeah. We out here dripping in finesse.
If you guys just tuned in, this is Liana. Let them know your Instagram again.
Yes,
so
my
they can follow.
Instagram is Liana Gabrielle X3. My website is lianagabriellex3.com. I am a blogger, model, dominatrix from New York City.
Yeah.
She has her own website, so make sure you guys, we're going to take a picture, we're going to tag her all over, make sure you guys follow her, make sure you keep up with the website. We got so many cool things coming, so keep
now that you mentioned the dominatrix, let's get into that. What does how does one
I always wanted, I don't know about her, right? I always wanted to like slap someone and for them to be like,
how does one get the title dominatrix? Like, it's one thing to be into it, to know it, but once you're like, I'm a dominatrix,
You definitely earn your stripes in the game.
okay, let's hear it.
alright, shit.
I feel first and foremost there's a huge misconception that whether the person be male or female, whether they be very dominant or very submissive, people
Will
think
fainted. Somebody said dominatrix faints. Okay, well, shout out to Will that's tuned in. Go ahead.
you know, I feel it's a huge misconception that people think just because you can do that for a living, you must like that in bed in real life.
Okay.
Like that must be your personality in bed too. Not at all.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Not
So
at
it's like
all.
a switch.
Yes, I see it as work. For me, it is work. I have to follow a script. I have to say certain things. I have to keep a certain mentality.
Okay.
It's not for me sexual pleasure. It's not for me that fun. It's not for me mental foreplay. I'm not into that. I'm actually more submissive behind closed doors.
Oh, see, the more you
So now in being a dominatrix, it's mostly when the guy wants you to be in control.
Yes, dominatrix is typically, in the way that the industry goes now, it's the majority of clients are men that are paying women for physical and or verbal abuse. Now, there's a big difference between this and prostitution, because this has to do more with the mind. This has to do more with foreplay. This is not about what happens in the moment. And a big thing to remember is that a lot of men who want these sorts of, they want boundaries, they want all these rules, they're thriving off of it, they love it. They don't want to be able to touch you, they don't want to be able to see you naked, they don't want to, no, they want the boundaries, they want the discipline.
So they want to be told,
I'll go to
no
jail,
sometimes.
man. If you let me hit you, ain't no telling what I'm gonna do.
I heard it's usually men that are in power,
Yes.
and they're used to giving orders, and it's just something for them to.
1,000%.
Which, like what you said, in this, you know what I mean? It's a script, it's something you have to do, but in your real bedroom,
not at all.
you want the man to take control.
If he does not, he's not my type, and
I'm with that.
wish you all the best. Namaste, baby.
Absolutely.
You're just not the one for me.
Right.
So what got you into dominatrix in the first place?
Yes.
Like, what made you say, you know what, I could beat the shit out of someone and get paid for
Oh,
it?
girl, yes. I definitely think that being from Section 8 housing, growing up from lower income housing, you definitely grow up with a sort of resentment towards the upper class, especially the people that are very snobby and make you feel like shit.
So it was like, oh, you gonna pay me to slap you?
I'm gonna make y'all laugh.
Okay, all right.
You gonna pay me to tell you you're a rich piece of shit?
Yes.
I like you more and more by the second. Yes.
I had a very interesting time.
I was just gonna say, tell us an experience without getting into detail.
I was a teenager and I was window shopping one day after school in Bloomingdale's, and I was in high school, so I was looking at the prom dresses. Now, I went to an all-girl Catholic high school. We had uniforms.
Okay.
There was no mistaking us for, like, normal people.
Right.
You knew that we were in Catholic school. We had the skirts, the little thigh highs, the whole shebang. There was a lady, a very elderly white woman, chasing me around the store, calling me Maria, telling me to get her something. And like I was inside just like boiling, you know, and it just like blew my whole day. Yeah, y'all. I was like, my name's not Maria, dude. Yeah. I'm like, do you see this uniform? I don't work here, lady. You know, so
clearly she was trying to be just
super mean. You know, having things like that happen to you definitely shape you to look at the upper class a certain way. Are there people that treat you very well, who want to mentor you, who want to help the urban community? Absolutely. But we all know how racism works.
Right.
And we know it does not discriminate by money. By you could be rich and be racist, you could be poor as shit and be racist.
That's true.
So, and then in Hispanic communities and in black communities, we deal with colorism.
Right.
So things like that do kind of give you a certain level of resentment as you grow up and as you look at the world. And at the age of 19, when I was stripping, I was just tired. And I wanted something else. You're tired of being on your feet 8 hours a night in heels. You're tired of fighting off drunk men when a bouncer can't come help you.
Right.
You're tired of dealing with it. You
And
start
now,
looking at
you don't dance no more at all.
No.
Okay.
I don't dance now. I'm a dominatrix. I be whooping ass now.
Woo! I thank God every day.
Yo,
But my first experience was in a strip club. There was a very old, very nice, very, very nice guy who was very respectful. We didn't try to touch me or anything. Very old, rich white guy.
Love those.
You know, and obviously in clubs there's private rooms. Everybody knows that. But he wasn't even talking about that. He had his own leash and collar like a dog.
Wow.
He wanted to be walked
in
front of everybody.
He wanted to have the leash on him.
Yes. He wanted me to stand and walk him like a dog.
Do you remember, what was it, Candy Shop? That video where I think it was 50 Cent that he walked
Yes.
I always looked at that like, bitch,
I ever told you about that?
That
when I went to King of the Dot for the first time for a battle, I think I wasn't a massacre. I don't know which event it was, but it was when I went there, the guy came into King of the Dot and he had 2 girls on leashes, bad chicks, yo. Bad chicks on leashes, and they were both like crawling through the venue with like a chain on their neck.
And there's rules because there's a level of ownership. When you see a leash, that's a sign of ownership. A leash and a collar, it means that you are their pets.
See,
I like literally.
I like 50 Shades of Grey.
Yes, girl. Yes.
Like I'm all that, but I have I need a safe word.
We have our boundaries. We need a safe word. As Kevin Hart would say, pineapples.
Yes, pineapples.
Please. Find your word that gives you that pineapples vibe, please. People, be safe, especially when it comes to things like choking. Erotic asphyxiation is a real fetish. Hi, how are you? Yes.
Actually, the nerd in me looked something up before, and I saw that was a big thing in Manhattan.
Oh yes.
And there was a gay couple, and the guy passed away.
Yes.
Because supposedly what you do is you masturbate, and right when you're about to ejaculate, they tie the scarf.
Yes.
Because it's like getting choked. Like, you know how people like getting choked?
So do you still...
But like at the moment.
At the moment that you're ejaculating.
So your body
and this dude hung himself.
But do you still...
The body will. Yes.
Oh,
the body will.
Shit. I didn't know. I thought you would get so like lost.
All the blood is down there by then. Men are fascinating creatures.
I got a question.
Yes.
What's your worst experience being a dominatrix?
Ooh,
like, what's the worst thing that scared you, maybe?
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. There's definitely a difference between there's strip clubs, which people know about, but there's dungeons where women or men in some cases, go to work, and they're secured. They have cameras. Men pay insane memberships to be a part of them. They're in Manhattan in very exclusive places. The women are paid.
The shit we would never find. We know it happens. But
Right. But it's like a club. You're working in shifts, so it's more. The blueprint is like a regular job. You have an 8-hour shift. You have your coworkers. Hi, Nancy.
Hey.
You know, like
I'm here for my 10 a.m.
Exactly. Yeah, I have a 10 a.m. today. I'm gonna be here till about 6. You know, they have their schedules. It's a real company.
So are the guys already picked out if you do it by that way?
Members tend to be screened. So typically when girls go on interviews, if the company picks them, they tell them like, this is how we screen. We request taxes, or we run their credit, or whatever the case may be.
You gotta take a drug test?
Right? You know, there are secure places where girls feel safe and they want to do that. My thing is I never wanted to be confined to scheduling and feeling like I was working a regular quote-unquote job. So I wanted to be indie. I wanted to do things on my own.
Okay.
Right.
With the power of the internet, since about the 80s, you've had websites and personal ads such as Backpage, classified ad sites such as Backpage, where people were able, and Craigslist, where people were able to post their own ads. Just post BS numbers, Google Voice, text free, next best.
Right.
Just get the calls, talk to someone and see whether or not they wanted to go. Versus working in a dungeon where that's a client that's already paid a membership, and we don't care how awkward he makes you feel and
He
what
paid,
he wants
right,
you to
right,
say.
right, I get
He
you.
paid.
Okay.
Some of these men have very sick fetishes. Some of these men are dealing with issues from being molested by priests. They're dealing with intense sexual traumas, being sodomized by
Right, and
people
they
in their
have the
families.
money to go to these dungeons.
So wait, so-
Some of the things that they say will give you nightmares. It's not even about being touched, okay?
Oh.
It's about things that they say.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
wanted to be completely on my own because I'm from the South Bronx. If I'm not comfortable, I'm out. And
Right.
if you want to shoot the one, we're going to shoot the one.
Right, right.
Like
Okay,
point blank
shit.
period.
Like don't call me the N-word.
Thank you. And I did a guy
Oh,
from
no.
Arkansas. I definitely did. The most scariest incident that happened to me was a client who was high. But this is the problem, that we're no longer living in an era where you just have to worry about coke
Right.
and eat.
Okay.
Okay, now it's prescription pill abuse.
Yeah.
Now it's oxy. Now it's lean.
It's true.
Now it's them
Now it's
mixing all
perks.
different types
You don't
of
know
shit.
what the hell people are on nowadays. It's scary. They're on a cocktail. They're on prescription medication plus alcohol.
Right.
That's scary. If you
That's
guys don't
very, very
know what
scary.
that's like, trust me.
Someone can literally die on your hands. It's not exactly for the faint of heart. You do have to know what you're going into here. You do get clients that are very high, but you're like, damn, is he drunk? What is he? Like, and you're
there's
trying
no
to
turning
tough it
away
out.
from it in a sense.
You can walk out. Some of them, I've had some just fall asleep. I've had some look at me and be like, wait, who are you? And then I'm like, I'm out. You know, it
I'd be
gets
like,
very
you said you were
interesting.
gonna pay me for the ride. I just
Exactly.
drove you here.
My advice to girls is always get your money. Yes.
That is a lot.
I'm
Yes.
your Uber driver.
My advice is always get the bread up front. Always get
Right.
your money up front. If someone makes you feel uncomfortable, just leave. Definitely stick to 4- and 5-star hotels where you have security, where you have those fire alarms that you can pull.
Have you ever gotten cool with someone after?
No,
And then-
bye.
No.
Wow. Okay, it's fucking work.
For the simple fact that when I was a stripper, we did have close calls where the last car out of the strip club followed us through the Lincoln Tunnel all the way back to New York.
That is
Really?
fucking
We were carpooling with the
insane.
bouncer, who was a very nice guy. It was like 4 of us girls. At the time, I was living in the Bronx. Some other girls were living in Queens and in Brooklyn.
Okay.
So the very nice bouncer was like, hey, I gotta head to upstate New York anyway. I'll take you guys through the tunnel,
God
leave you all in
bless
Times
him.
Square. He had to flag down cops because a car followed us through the Lincoln Tunnel. So, and that was just working in the strip club, and I personally had no interaction with that client. It was another girl that was in the car that did have an interaction. She
That
gave him a
is
dance.
so
I'd
fucking
have been
scary.
like, what?
Ever since
What?
that, I do not, because of the stalker game, I do not make friends
Yeah.
with these guys. I had a client who was very out of it, and I was trying to leave, and he tried to pull me back into the hotel room.
Oh no.
And it was a 4-star hotel, it was a beautiful hotel, and he kept on saying, oh, like, you don't know who you mess with, I'm a fed, I'm a fed, I'm a fed.
I'm gonna be like, I'm a snitch, I'm a snitch, I'm a snitch.
For real, you know, and thank you.
What you mean?
The whole issue with him was that he was soliciting. He was asking for things that were out of the spectrum of dominatrix. He wanted extras. He wanted to
Oh,
smash.
so he
wanted,
figured if he said he was a fed, he would get you in trouble.
And he was also like, oh, but just name your price. And it's like, that's not the game I play, my dear. I'm very happy sticking to my dominatrix lane. I'm not against women who do full-on sex work and do
right,
prostituting
but I'm
and
not
escort.
here for that.
But it's not my hustle.
So you definitely you don't
It's
go
not my
past
hustle.
that line.
No,
Okay.
it is not my hustle.
One
I
more
think
question.
everyone should
and
know
not for
their
that, you might
lane.
make more money like that when they know they can't. touch
Not
you,
for
touch
nothing.
you.
They're not 9 times out of 10 they come back more when you don't give them everything. they
Right,
want.
Wow.
right.
I mean, it's
That's what it's about.
Right.
you know, I hate to say it. There is a certain science to men. There is a certain science to keeping a man's interest. And a lot of it has
Tell
to
me,
do with
girl,
just making
because
them
I
happy.
can't keep wanting to save my life.
Yes, girl. They, you know, as much as men are hunters by nature. They want
Right.
to feel like they have to go after something. Like, and not to objectify women, but you are the
Yeah.
trophy, you are the goal, you are the finish line.
Yeah. there you
Amen.
go.
Amen.
Shout out to Kaza. ocean and get the basket, V.
Let me get one more.
Bro.
Has anybody ever asked you to do something you like, I ain't doing that shit?
Absolutely.
Like what?
That much? Damn.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure they try to
Damn.
get their fill.
Have you ever had a girl request a girl dominatrix?
No, but we have had couples who want to do things together, or women who want to learn
I'd be like,
how
y'all
to
want to
please their
get beat
partner
up
like
together?
that. Yes, you do have some women that want to be a part of that pain too.
Right.
And then you have women that are like, this is my man, I've been with him,
Whatever
or that's
he
my
wants.
husband.
Yeah.
I want to learn how to do this to him too. Like, let's get a professional girl in so she can teach me how to do this.
Y'all ever watch Billions? Any of y'all?
I haven't, but when I told someone I was a dominatrix, that's the first thing they were talking
Yeah,
about.
because the husband and the wife dominates him, and then one episode he went to the what you call it?
A dungeon.
The dungeon, the special membership. Had to be a
Yes.
membership. He
Yeah,
went
that's real.
and didn't tell his wife.
Oh, and she was tired.
Then it shows up on the credit card statement. I'm just
She
saying.
was hot than a motherfucker. Like,
I mean, but I've heard we had friends that had different spots like that, where it'd be like fetish spots where they could just
Absolutely.
go.
Fetishes are hot
do what
right
they
now,
gotta do.
guys.
And they were telling us that there's spots you can go to where they just have group sex, like everybody's just
Orgies.
walking around,
Orgies,
butt
swinger
ass
parties.
naked.
that's
You
been
guys-
for years though.
Swinger parties.
Yeah.
I'm
Swinger
like,
parties.
Nothing.
Swinger
I'm like,
parties.
I go to one every other month. So.
I heard
No,
about
no,
Jada,
no, fuck around.
Jada
I'm
and
playing.
Will are swingers.
Wow. Oh yeah, they
I heard Jada and Will are swingers, and
I would
that's why
believe
their
that.
marriage has been so successful for so
I would
long.
believe it.
Listen,
I mean,
that-
hey, what works for you, God bless, Godspeed.
Exactly.
It's
I
your
mean,
relationship,
everyone's
it's your
different.
marriage.
But now, so you don't have that many girls. You say you don't have no girls. You've never
No,
had
when everybody was talking,
He's like,
yes, everybody was talking about Backpage getting shut down. But Backpage was only one out of about 344 websites that were shut down by the DOJ under the Trump administration. So we have several issues going on with this. If you look back in history, if you look at Hitler, Hitler's number one enemy was the press. Who's Trump's number one enemy? There we go. You have to be very aware of these things.
what are you reading the
History
comments?
tests
These niggas just go out beating my
That's a
meat under the desk.
That's your uncle.
These niggas just wildin'.
Censorship in the age of the internet is a huge problem. The internet is meant to be free speech, with the exception of hate speech. So
Right.
to censor people from doing things that are completely consensual and fine, the amount of criminals that were actually utilizing Backpage and other websites such as Craigslist were actually very small.
But I mean, with Dominatrix, that's a little different. I think they were just trying to crack down on like the actual sex.
I'm
acts.
very glad you brought that up. Intelligent people all around the world know that there is a difference between actual full-on sex work like prostitution.
Right.
And
that's what they were
That's a
targeting.
good
Things that are
question, though.
fetish-based,
It's
like
fetishes and
dominatrix.
prostitution is totally different.
The
Dominatrix
problem-
is different than prostitution.
You're not having sex.
Because dominatrixes, they can't touch you. If they even try
They're
to touch
tied
you,
up. They're
you're like,
tied up. It's like if I tie you up, how you gonna
But
touch
you're
me? You're tied
still
up.
selling something.
but
They're
it's
selling
not
the
sex.
fantasy, the mental fantasy. You
I'm
can't
like,
touch
so
me
they
and I'm
paying
beautiful and
and
I'm
they
in front
not
of
getting
you.
none?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what
I
you're
understand
paying for.
the dudes getting dominated. They don't want sex,
Right.
except the Fed dude.
Some of them, not to be disrespectful towards men. I'm sure you guys have your own plights in life, and aging is horrible on everyone. Some of these men are so old, and their health is in such poor condition that they are not allowed to take medical supplements such as Viagra. What do you people think that means?
They can't do anything.
Even if they wanted to, this is as
Oh,
close as
that's
they're
what I need.
getting.
All right.
Put 2 popsicle sticks
In
in
the
my.
comfort of their own home.
Right.
In the comfort of their own home, or in the comfort of a hotel room without having to go to a strip club.
Okay.
So there is a lot of appeal to it. There is a lot of wide clientele. The issue with the United States is that in this country we have, legally, there is no difference. We are all grouped as sex workers. Even though I do not have sex, I am defined in the United States of America as a sex worker. Versus if you go anywhere else, France, Europe, Amsterdam,
Well,
Canada.
in France, then
it's
you be that
completely separate.
bitch in
In
France.
France, there's a license for prostitution and it's equal to 25 US. Okay?
And then,
Wow.
where is it that we always, Amsterdam too. Amsterdam, I believe,
I always hear
they
stories
get
about
their
Amsterdam.
taxes. Like they file taxes.
Wait,
they
wait,
get
did you
their
guys know in Norway there's government money set up for very old men to receive sexual services from prostitutes at least once a month.
Get the fuck out of here. Are you serious?
For all y'all thirst buckets out there, tell me you don't want to go to Norway right now.
I would like the government to fund me for once a month.
When y'all old and retired and bored, you get a pretty cute little thing for free.
For free.
I have another question. Not on that note. Lee.
Yeah.
Do y'all think y'all have what it takes to be a dominatrix?
I can definitely do it.
Now, I bet you it's not as easy as it may sound to just do it.
I know. Listen, I have friends that are dominatrix or are involved in that realm, and I just feel like my personality, the way that I am, and the sick shit that I like, I feel like I would fit.
Okay.
And you would not mind slapping the shit out of a guy.
You come out so happy.
I think I could probably do it, but the problem I would have.
No, she'd be like, I'm so sorry.
Right.
Right. That's why I asked the question. That's why I asked the question.
If it gets too far, I'd be like, why do you want this?
Okay,
you don't deserve this.
There are some guys that are very like over the edge, like they actually want to bleed, and then you're like, whoa, buddy.
Right. Or
You know.
like you said, certain things you'll never get out of your head.
No,
That's
absolutely
what
not.
That's what
Hearing
scares
the
me.
stories about how they were molested as children or sexually assaulted
They'll
by
just tell
priests,
you.
they're trying to work through traumas. You also have men that are in denial about their sexuality.
See, I talk myself out of money. I'd be like, you're just doing to me what that priest did to you.
Oh my god.
Let's end this cycle right now.
I really can't.
Let's end this cycle right now.
Look, at the end of the day, we make profit because people are too ashamed to go and get help or speak to a therapist. Or
it is a form
So
of
go to your
therapy.
dominatrix and let her know all about it.
Absolutely. We will definitely help you work out your issues.
Now, does that annoy you though? Does it annoy you when they start talking about real personal life?
What
shit?
annoys me is when they try to make a romantic connection. Because I'm like, baby love,
Spit my drink out.
I got rent to pay, and
Right.
I didn't meet you because I thought you was cute.
Right.
Let's just be real honest.
Oh,
here.
like, so it'll be people like trying to hit you up
They're like,
later,
oh my god,
like-
but you're so beautiful. Let me take you out to dinner. I don't want to date a man that wants to be tied up. I need a man that wants to like handcuff me and shit.
Right.
Like we're not.
Talk that
We're not.
shit.
Like if I tie you up, who's gonna tie me up?
Thank you. Like you're just not my type. No offense. You know, everybody, it's perfectly fine. You're entitled to like what you like behind closed doors.
Watch.
Right.
My next encounter, I'm gonna slap the shit out of somebody, and I'm gonna come back like, yo, he wasn't.
As
into
long
it.
as you talk about everything in advance.
He wasn't with it, yo.
By
I don't
all
know what
means.
happened.
Consent, I feel like that's another thing. Consent can be so sexy.
Okay.
Like don't you want, like, to all the guys watching, don't you want a woman to be like, I puppy, yes, touch me, take me now, like, don't
That's
you want
a
to just like,
fact.
have a woman going crazy, like, but that's consent. A woman telling you like, yes, I want it. That's consent. And unfortunately, in the United States, the only state that teaches consent is the state of California. By the Board of Ed, that is the only state that has to teach what consent is. And I just told you guys very easily what it was. See? Look how easy that
Wow.
was.
Like these dummies didn't know. Like they just go ahead and just go.
And
even if you
that's why you have all these gray areas and all these stories about, oh, but I was drinking so much. You have girls shaming themselves, talking about, oh, I
Right.
had too much to drink. You have guys talking about, oh, well, we was both late and this, that, and the third. This is why you have all these stories where people are like, oh, well, whose side are you going to take? Because the consent was so fucking blurred.
Right.
Now,
Like-
we have a question here. Can she have a relationship while being a dominatrix? Have
Yes.
you been in a relationship at all in
Yes,
your
but it
years?
takes a very, very strong man to understand. Unfortunately, you
I
know,
wouldn't give a fuck.
when you leave the
That's
country,
kind of hot. No,
when
I
you leave
think
the
if
country,
you know that
yeah.
your girl's not having sex, but she's just like
Slapping
dominating.
people?
I'll be like, where's your girl? Dominating somewhere. She'll be there later.
tying some
Tying
man up like a
someone
little
up.
Whooping
piggy.
some-
And then you
Nigga
walk
ass.
in and he's like, you ain't dominating me, bitch. Yeah, honey.
You know, that's the problem that this country has such a stigma. Like sex workers, we don't have rights here, guys. Like if a girl gets raped on the job and we go to law enforcement, we're fucked. Okay, we put ourselves in that predicament. That's unfortunately the American criminal justice perspective.
I definitely watch SVU.
I mean,
all
come
the
on,
time.
you guys know what it is. Versus when you leave the country, when you go anywhere
dominatrix
else,
lawyer.
they know that there's a difference between the fetish work and actual full-on prostitution. Things get very lost in translation. It's very, very difficult to find people that do like really understand. Like, okay, this is it and that's it.
I feel
So
like
you
men
did meet
blur the
someone that was
lines.
cool with it.
I've met few men that do very well with it. My last relationship went down in flames because of it.
Okay.
Just flames. It didn't sit well with him. His whole family was just, I was getting slut shamed left, right, upside down.
I was like, why you told your family?
It was horrible. No, then it was my idea because I'm a horrible liar. Oh my God. I suck at like keeping up with
So
lies.
they would ask like what you did.
Yeah, and I was just like, I tie men up and slap them. And like, I mean, yo, Manhattan rent is expensive. Yo, I'm paying $15.69 for a studio.
See?
For a
Then
studio.
You want to move to Manhattan.
You reading the same thing.
And it's me and my dog, okay? Like, I ain't got no kids.
That's all
Have you
your
ever-
favorite.
Have you ever ran into someone in the street that you've had an encounter with and you're just like,
Oh, I did once, but I didn't
awkward.
recognize him. That was
Yeah,
really
and he
funny.
recognized you?
Yes.
Oh
He
my
was like,
God.
oh, you're so-and-so. Like, one of my BS names.
right, and you're
And-
like, oh, what
and
is
I was
that?
like- And then in my head, I was like, damn, I ain't used the name Jasmine for like 3 years. I was like, who is you? Like, I could not. Like, no, because then the majority of the clientele, honestly, unless it's a dungeon, the majority of clientele in hotels are business people, people that are here traveling, people that are here on business, wealthy businessmen, CEOs, VPs.
Look at that.
I like them.
You know, these are men that have very high profiles. These are men that are
Right.
probably on Forbes. I mean, political commentator, CNN. I mean, we've had some very, very interesting people, DA people. I mean, people in politics.
People
when
with
United
money,
Nations
I feel
is
like
in
the
town,
more
it's
money
crazy.
you have, they know about it.
United
right?
Nations is bank. When you have all these diplomats here,
Oh yeah, because
there's
they're all
bank.
like, yo,
Wow.
we got you
Bank.
guys taken care of.
Wow.
And
But
they're
legally-
taken care of.
Legally, they can get away with murder because they're diplomats.
Right,
So
how
they
they
kill
do
you
whatever
very,
they
very
want.
careful. Yes, you have to be very, very careful. And as much as people try to, as much as there's a lot of Islamophobia going on right now, one of the best clients I ever had was in a 5-star hotel, and he was, I will not say his
Me
political
too.
position, but Kuwait.
Oh.
Kuwait. I will not
Shit.
say his political position. I had to go through security literally 3 different times. My bag, my purse was literally completely taken away from
Oh my
me.
God, did you get to wear like cool stuff?
No, he wanted me just
Regular,
as I
regular?
was.
I'd be like, no, I want to look like Jasmine from Aladdin.
I can't.
And we're gonna do this.
Maybe for my man, I dressed up like Princess Jasmine.
Yes,
Put the
like,
weave in.
hello.
So wait, so what is the usual wear for a
They-
dominatrix?
In
You
my
wear, like, leather
experience, you know, that shit is expensive. dude.
Yeah.
Let me
Or
tell
well,
you.
like the
Oh my
latex,
God.
the latex girl.
I wanted one of those cute little like tube all black latex
yeah, yeah.
dresses. If you guys are familiar with like the EDM lifestyle,
Yeah.
you know those little outfits that they have, the latex outfits. Alright, cool. Those things are very expensive, and you have to slather yourself in baby oil just to get
To
into
get it,
them.
yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
If you didn't, it would feel
What?
uncomfortable wearing the shit
Yeah,
anyway.
then you're just like.
I'm like,
I
I'd
was
much
just looking
rather
at
wear
those.
like a corset or something from Vias or like a little bra top. Typically, in my experience, it's from one extreme to another. They want someone who's very, at the very best demure, at the very worst geeky as fuck,
right,
like
right,
librarian status.
Yeah, they
Oh,
want like
wow.
glass. That's why when you
long
said
skirt, very
It's full on
conservative.
fantasy mode, basically.
Absolutely. Or they go in the complete opposite direction and they want your Barbie. They want your long hair. They want your nice long eyelashes. They want that whole bam, bam, bam kind of vibe.
Wow.
So it's
it all
very
depends on
interesting.
who you're with.
It all depends on the guy. Probably one of the most awkward but most flattering things I ever heard was, "I called you back because you look like my wife."
wow, I'd be like,
Wow.
so what's the issue with you and her?
Oh
Clearly
my
you're
God.
attracted to
Come on,
I mean, for real,
come
for
on.
real.
Clearly you love her because you're calling me because I look like her.
I would say probably one of the funniest experiences I had was there was a very nice old man, and he was like, "Oh, would you mind changing and just like wearing your bra?" And he had a brand new pair of Calvin Klein tights from Bloomingdale, still in the package. And they were like secretary, like granny panty, like stockings, just nude secretary. You know, and he's like, can you just wear these, like past your stomach and just your bra? And I would be so happy. Like he was like, I'll pay you more. And I was like,
you
well,
know what?
shit, that's more than what I wear at the beach.
You probably look sexy in that shit.
Yeah.
It's different.
Because that's the whole fantasy of
It's
like
a fantasy.
you came out of your work clothes.
Maybe he had the hots for his secretary.
Right, and
Right,
always
and
wondered
that's the
what,
way-
and that's
It's
what she
all
looked like,
about
yeah.
the fantasy.
That
So,
is crazy.
you know, I sat there and I'm like, well, you know, I wear less than that at the beach. You know, let's keep it a stack. So, all right, no problem. So I go into the bathroom and I change privately. But when I came out of the bathroom, I was not the only one in pantyhose.
Oh.
Get the fuck out of
He
here.
had pantyhose on.
Yes, girl, we did.
Also, he wanted a match. She said twins.
I have never tried so hard to keep a straight face in my life.
I'd be like,
my
oh,
God.
like that thing we used to go on. Okay, when we first started promoting.
Wait, what?
The chat roulette.
Okay.
So
Alright.
once we said we were gonna start doing the show here at this studio, we were thinking of
At
crazy
what studio?
ways. Here at 15 Minutes of Fame. Shout out 15
15
minutes
minutes
of
of
Fame.
fame.
So we went on chat roulette, which is like you can literally go on the same way like we can see our faces now. You go, they see you, we see them. And then you're just clicking to the next one. So of course
wow.
there's creeps that's jerking off.
There's so
Oh,
many.
We're going
so
past
many,
them.
so
We
many.
ran into a cross dresser.
Oh my God! I
So
so
it was a guy,
Yes.
and it literally, he said that he didn't want people to know his name, whatever, because he's a businessman, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. But when he gets on chat roulette, he's Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yes,
Ooh.
he's
He
a
was
full-blown
full-blown,
woman.
yep.
He has his little tube top, crop top. He had his little, like, his colors were crazy. Like a little,
yeah?
a green skirt, a red top.
All right, Team Rainbow.
Like, yes,
Yeah.
and he had a wig on. He had just the whole feel of it, and he was like, "Yes, ladies, yes."
Yeah, and
And
we were promoting
like,
the show, but it was crazy how he basically told us straight up, like, I come on here to be myself
Yes.
because my friends, my family, my
Nobody would
coworkers,
accept it.
they don't know it, they don't,
Yes.
and we were just like,
Imagine.
Yes.
That
well,
is
we've
wild.
seen some wild, crazy
No,
people
wait.
on chat roulette.
So, sidebar question here. Have you ever worked with a guy that you actually looked at and you were like, damn, he's kind of cute?
Oh my God.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I'm like, you want me to do what?
Good question.
He was probably the only exception to the rule that like I never made a personal connection because
Right.
I call him, I have him saved on my phone as El Santo. He is
Oh.
the saint. The problem,
Damn.
the problem.
Right? Where is he at?
He's in Cali. God bless him. Shout out to Kevin. I love Kevin so much.
Oh, Kevin, shout out.
Kevin is amazing. Basically, working in a cash-based industry, I know we're in Jersey. You guys are very blessed. When it comes to trying to get an apartment in Manhattan, holy shit, the amount of financial documents they want.
I know.
You know, and then
I
when
was
you-
trying to look now.
You feel the pain. When you want an apartment, they want pay stubs, they want letter of employment, this and the third.
It's
Whether you're a
impossible.
stripper, a dominatrix, whatever, you don't have that. A bartender, it's hard to have that. You need someone else to help you.
Right.
So he was the one exception to the rule.
Wow. And he helped you.
He helped me get my apartment and everything. He was young and super cute and all tattooed, and
We need a Kevin.
it was
Where's
basically
these Kevins at?
he was just like curious
no, like I need a
about
Kevin
it.
like within 60 days.
It was very interesting because at the time I was advertising for Dominatrix, but it was slow, so I was advertising for adult erotic massage.
Ooh.
So-
is that like happy ending? Okay.
Okay.
It sounds way cooler.
Perhaps. and the reason
Sounds better to me.
And the reason is because
Get
it's
my
always
ass
up to the
whooped.
girl. It's always up to the girl. For some girls, it comes
Get
down to
my
money.
ass
For some girls, it comes down to is he cute. For some girls, it comes down to no, I'm not doing that at all.
Okay. So it
So,
all depends on what
For
you're
me,
comfortable
it
with.
came down to I'm just gonna take the money and wait for you to fall asleep, and then I'm gonna leave you. What you have to remember
With that.
is
You was
that
gonna what?
in these night
No, I didn't hear you.
in these night industries, a lot of the time they're high, they're drunk, they're tired, they fall asleep. When you tell a drunk person, just lay down in the bed and I'm just gonna rub your back, let me tell you, you can have them knocked down in like 10 minutes, okay?
Oh, and then you could slide
You get
out.
but this is the thing, a smart person always gets their money in advance. So you get your money and you leave. That's it. Nobody's hurt. Somebody's just knocked out and you're just leaving. That's it.
And he's probably like, wow, who knows how long
He was probably like, she was great. I went right to sleep.
For real.
Right.
So, you know, it really
Can
depends
you
on the
promote
girl.
asking for a friend?
Yes. That was how I came across Kevin.
Can you promote erotic massages with just wearing lingerie and giving massages?
Yes, the problem is
Maybe a
legally
Jabberwocky
everybody will
mask?
shut you down. IG will shut you down. Tinder will shut you down. Bumble will shut you down. Being that Backpage was not the only website that got shut down. 344 other websites were also shut down. So girls in this industry are flocking to Tinder, to Instagram, to whatever the Snapchat, premium Snapchat.
I'm all about doing what y'all gotta do. Just
We
don't do
have
that on
no-
Pinterest, man.
thank you.
Pinterest is not the spot for that.
We have like no choice now. They just like
Stay
want
off
to
of
kick us out
Pinterest.
of everywhere. So it's hard.
wow.
That was how I came across Kevin. Kevin apparently there was someone who went to him. Okay, Kevin had a cousin who apparently went for an erotic massage that had a happy ending, but it wasn't me. At the time, I had girls working for me. I had my own little company thing going on.
So it was like you found somebody selling on
I
your
had
block.
this badass Brazilian girl. I had this banging ass Brazilian girl working for
I love
me.
Brazilians. You
At
want
the
me already.
time, yes, and she was making me so much money. I was literally just sitting at home, and she would just send me my money on PayPal. And we was chilling.
Word.
You know, I never even met the girl, but God bless her. Mwah. You know, like she was a college student,
And she wasn't shady
She was
with the
clean.
money,
She was like, I have a boyfriend. I just want to massage them and leave. And I was like, well, you don't have to give them
Right.
anything. And legally, happy ending is not even legal. So for them to ask, it is solicitation.
Right.
So no, you do not, under no circumstance are you required to go through with the happy ending because they're soliciting for that.
Right.
That's
right.
not what the game is about.
Shit. Know your laws.
Know your laws, people, because you know why entrapment is legal and it could be a cop. Snap, snap.
How would you handle a situation though if she didn't send you your money and you never met her? Like, how do you trust somebody else?
Very
working for
simple.
you?
I'm finding it.
I hear that.
PayPal
See, I got the
tends to
mentality
be
of
very
it.
careful with things like PayPal and Venmo. PayPal, for a fact, if you're involved with eBay, buying and selling things on eBay, your PayPal account typically has an address where
Right.
you're doing this kind of package exchange.
Right.
It could be a PO box or it could be your actual home address. But things like that, people will catch you slipping. Also, when you get a cell phone, when you register your number, it registers under an address.
They say you'll be there like
You
a
can
shoe
find
pimp.
people.
They say you'll be there
Best
like a shoe
believe.
pimp. That's what they
Listen,
say in the comments.
I'm from Brook Ave on the 6th line. That's all I'm going to say.
Ow.
Allegedly.
No, because see,
Allegedly.
that's always been my worry is like who to trust. How could you? Even
Are there
trust
people that scam? There could even be guys just sending fake pictures like, yeah, this is me.
And then you go there
my
and it's
God.
like
You know, and then they go to these 5-star hotels and try to rob these poor, old white guys that are helpless.
Aww.
You know, there's a lot of twists and turns in this game.
So has that ever happened? Like, have you ever been catfished?
Oh, thank God, no. No, and there was a time that it's funny to everybody, but I was literally in tears. I was so scared. I had a guy who was so old that I was really scared he was gonna die.
Oh my God.
Like he was so
You
old.
see this right here? It's a tear. It's a fucking tear
He
right
was
here.
walking so slow,
the guy.
and like in his chest, he had like these metal plates.
Oh.
Like he wasn't shirtless, but like he had like a little button-up shirt, and it was high, so he had like 2-3 buttons open, and you could see these like square metal plates in his chest.
I'm out.
Oh, he was
Yo,
he was living in
And
his last
he
days.
was living his best life.
Right,
let me tell you.
and he was like, yeah.
It's about to be the last day of his life.
I thank God
fucking
every
with
day
you.
he made it through, because if not legally, I can't run. I have to talk to. I have to say what
Yeah,
happened to
there-
him.
that
I was the
was-
last person that saw him alive.
That was a real
You can
thing.
go to jail for that, people.
Yeah, that was a
Do
real
not
thing.
run. Do not run. You have to, and then you also have to understand these are real people, real families. He probably had a wife that he was married to for like
that
40
didn't even
years.
know
Doesn't mean
what was
he's a
going on.
bad person because he likes that type of
He
shit.
just wanted to
Right.
Be a
go out
regular
like
person.
a G. Like,
And then he
trying to
told me he
figure-
was in New York visiting doctors. He was here seeing, like, to the hospitals, like seeing specialists. This man was clearly
So
near
it was
his
to get his
last
mind
day.
off of stuff.
Right.
So there is also a level of compassion to that kind of work. There's a level of compassion. There's a level of understanding and human sympathy. You know, a lot of these guys are very old. We're not talking about young guys in their 20s and 30s. Absolutely not. The youngest clients we typically get tend to be in their 40s.
Oh.
Kevin, it was fucking hysterical because he was like, my cousin gave me this number and like basically said it was for a massage and like didn't really get around to the whole happy ending part. Then when I was like, well, what's your cousin's number? I sent him
Kevin,
that.
you
I sent
knew
him
what
that
type of
Brazilian bitch.
massage it was. You just saw her and was like, I
You
like
were trying to be
her.
I sent him the Brazilian girl, right? I sent his cousin the Brazilian girl, and then the cousin gives his number to Kevin, because Kevin was only going to be in New York for one night.
Oh, okay.
And was like, oh, get this massage from so-and-so, whatever. The Brazilian girl went back to Brazil. And it was me. So I was just going to G it. I was just going to take the money and dip. I was just going to G him.
Right, you were like,
know?
fuck it.
But when he opened up the door, he had on this cute little hat. He had his nose piercing. He was tatted everywhere, even his hands. And I was
I'm
like,
like, babe,
I love that.
babe.
I was like, who is?
Sold!
Who this?
They didn't tell you this massage comes with me.
It was crazy. It was crazy. So we ended up like not even really like going with the whole like protocol.
Right, you guys were chilling.
You know,
at that
we were just
point.
chilling and talking. If my memory serves me right, I gave him back his money. If my memory,
You were like,
if
I
my
want
memory
it.
serves me right.
I wanted this
He
massage.
was so cute. Oh my God. He invited me out to dinner. We had a nice dinner. Then he flew me out to
Wow.
Cali and we discussed my homelessness issues. I was sleeping in my grandmother's house on a futon for a year and a half before I met Kevin.
Wow.
Kevin signed and Kevin guaranteed my apartment.
That's amazing.
That's what's
Look
up.
at that. Like,
You
out
know,
of
God
something-
works in very mysterious ways.
Dear
and
God.
And that was it.
That was
Dear
it.
God,
And
at
now
this
Kevin's
moment,
probably one of my
I
best
need a
friends.
Kevin.
And I literally
Did
prayed and
he-
said to God, just send me anyone.
Wait,
Did he
There's a
smash
Kevin out there.
Did he smash?
Are you kidding me?
He flew you to Cali. We just had this conversation about flying people out of the country or out of the
Hold
state.
on. Can I just, yeah. Drop your shit there, Can I just tell you?
like, what?
I
She's
started
like, yeah.
this. Kevin came out of the works because I
I'm gonna give y'all
asked
some
if
tea
there
about
was
Kevin. I'm gonna give y'all
someone-
some tea. We gonna get real right
That's
now.
it.
See?
So
Dear God.
typically, I'm used to dating my own kind.
Okay.
And I love my people.
Where are
You a
you from, by
racist?
the way?
Yes, my family immigrated from Puerto Rico and from Cuba.
Okay.
All
Puerto
four of
Rican
my
and Cuban.
grandparents are immigrants. I'm very proud of my bloodline. I typically date Hispanic men.
Okay.
You know, age is here and there, but
What was
culture-wise, they're always
Kevin?
Spanish. Kevin
White?
is half white and half Indian.
I knew it.
And if somebody would have told me that white boys was packing like that, I would have jumped on that bandwagon a long time ago. That's all I gotta say.
I mean, you got lucky with Kevin.
Girl, so lucky, so lucky.
I just wanted to know
So
if he
lucky.
smashed for flying you out to Cali.
Well, he did, but it wasn't that trip.
All right, look,
It wasn't that trip.
V is salty than a motherfucker.
She's
not
She rolled her eyes at me like, oh,
I
what the
tell
fuck are you
you.
asking that for?
In my life, I never thought I'd meet someone like that. He's in his 30s. He's more of a mentor and a friend to me. He's in California. I do not believe in long distance relationships, nor do I condone them. I think they're very, very stressful emotionally.
Right. No, but
Not to have your partner
you guys
close
have
by.
a different bond because
It's
he was
different,
there when you
right.
really
He's
needed
more
him.
of a mentor. He taught me
We love
like about
Kevin.
investing and the stock market and what forex is.
Hashtag get you a Kevin.
Get you a Kevin. He's like,
Alright.
These bum ass dudes over here.
get you a partner you can learn from, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
All right.
Exactly.
Learn, expand, build businesses
Ooh,
together.
Okay,
all
we
right?
gotta. I'm trying to find a way to cool down so we could go into the
I
tarot
got very,
cards.
very lucky. I got very, very lucky. I was at my wit's end pulling my hair out.
But you
I
know
was
why?
exhausted.
You know why everything worked out in your favor?
Absolutely. And he
Because-
also met me when I was busting my ass. I paid $25,000 cash to go back to Pace in fall of 2016, and that was when he met me. It was
just gonna
literally
say,
a
because
fucking snowstorm.
You were doing everything
Yeah.
the right way. You were doing everything to get what you needed, but without being greedy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You were doing what you needed to do to be safe.
I was
You were doing what
literally-
you needed to do to take care of yourself,
Yes.
and that's why a
Or
Kevin
being
came along.
devious.
I would
Right.
literally.
She wasn't being grimy. She wasn't robbing these
Right.
old dudes. She wasn't being nasty and mean to them.
She was
like,
whooping their
She was
ass.
whooping their
But
ass.
that's what
'cause
they want.
Consensually. Consensually.
Consensual
okay?
ass whooping.
I mean, it's very interesting the way that things unfold. I really was at a very low point in my life. I really was at my wit's end, and I was also broke because I gave all my money to my university. So
Right.
you know, it was tough, and I would literally sit in the computer lab from, shout out to Tia, that's how I met my best friend Tia. I would be in the tech lab. Pace has 2 24-hour tech labs. From 9 p.m. at night, I had class from 6 to 9. I'd be in the tech lab from 9 p.m. to 5 o'clock in the morning, doing work and screening calls at the same time. I would leave to go work, go beat somebody's ass, then come back to Pace and work in the tech lab.
Holy shit.
So I was really like on my grind when I met Kevin.
From like a certain kind of vibe and a certain kind of attitude to then exiting out real quick, changing, and then going into like a more calm.
I had a locker at Pace. I had heels in there.
That's hilarious.
Is somebody in the chat named Kevin saying that he's the guy?
I would die laughing.
I was fucking with
I'm
you.
like, no, somebody went and made a Kevin. That's funny, but shout out to, what is that, Pada or Puda?
She looking too.
That-
I'm just fucking with
Yo,
you.
I love Kevin. Yo, that's the homie. That is the
Puda
homie.
brought up something that we were talking about in Houston, so that's dope. Thanks for tuning in and being that tuned in that you remember something we said from Houston. I'm gonna definitely check that out.
Yes.
Guys,
Houston.
before we get out of here, we're gonna get real spiritual, and she's gonna pull a card for us.
Yes.
And then if you want, I could pull a card for you.
Yes,
if
girl.
You want.
Yes.
You want? Oh, Unc said he ain't with the shit.
Real quick, in case you guys didn't know, we are very, very, very spiritual.
Yes.
We're into spirituality, and so that might be something that we, you know.
Unc is like, what?
Alright, there's something I want to address.
The opinions of Lee and V and Finesse and Chill Show has nothing to do with 15 Minutes of Fame Radio. This is a disclaimer.
Listen,
This is a disclaimer.
It's called Finesse and Chill, alright?
We're finessing and chilling.
15 minutes of fame. Let's go.